Mark, in terms of work with the players, sort of how's the 2 weeks been since the Norwich game?
We had some time off in the first week, and then we've had some lads away on international break. There were four of our boys away. They came back at various stages of the week. We got Brandon back in on yesterday. Hadji flew back in yesterday, as did Joel. Oliver came back in yesterday. Brandon was back in he flew back in on Tuesday, but got back into training yesterday. So they've all been away. Lads that have been here have trained consistently, and we've had a reasonably good week this week. So even though the numbers have been down, it's been a good week. They've performed to a really high level, as I'd hoped they would do. Sometimes if they've had a few days off, then it comes back and it takes a day to get back into it, but they didn't this time. They got back in and we're at it, and hopefully we'll see that reflected in the performance tomorrow.
I mean, does it make it a bit difficult having this 2-week break on the back of a defeat?
Well, you're never nice to lose a game, whatever that might be, but if you sort of sit and dwell on things, then obviously it can have more of a lasting impact. But once the game's done and you've sort of analysed that and gone through what went wrong, what happened, and the realities of it were, we in the first half we'd done everything okay. We didn't create a massive amount. They've had one shot on target in the second half and scored. Deflected goal. Then they defended pretty well, but when I spoke at the end of the game, because I look at that and we spoke about running harder and players being a bit disjointed. To clarify what I mean by that is we have to work smarter, harder, smarter, but also in certain areas of the field. I'm not going to sort of lay out what it is, but we have to play in a certain way that can help to create those chances, and that's what I was talking about. And also when we speak about being disjointed and players, new players coming in, I think Andy rightly pointed out that there was 9 players that were here last season that started the game. It's fair enough, that's right. What I was talking about was when we make the changes and the new players come on, and there were 3 out of the 5 substitutes that came on in the game. Sometimes they are not making the right movements to break down a block that Norwich put in place, but also gave them a leg up in terms of being able to keep possession for too long, and they had the ball too long before we could win it back. So that there was a frustration there, I think, from everybody, that they had the ball for far too long, where we got to win that back, and then you've got to do something with the ball that creates chances for yourselves. And I think that's what I mean, and that's what we're looking to try and put right over a course of as quickly as we possibly can. So we've been working on things this week on various aspects of the game. They've had quite a lot of work that they've put in this week, but also they've had a lot of information to take on board. So, but they've trained really well, so I'm pleased with that. And then looking forward to the game tomorrow to see if we can turn around the disappointment of the result against Norwich. But certainly in terms of what we've done so far, we're not far away. I mean, we get stats all the time. Your eyes tell you things, clearly I'm happy with some of the aspects of the play, and I'm unhappy with bits and pieces of it, but I think they are giving us everything that they've got in terms of the work rate. But I also know that we're missing a key player with Ben Sheaf, and he makes a big difference to everybody in the team. But they're performing to a reasonably high level at this stage, and when I look back and what we've done in the past, this time last year we were losing games against Hull City away, Millwall away, and I can remember a particularly poor performance at Cardiff last year, and those performances aren't necessarily there on show. There's just sort of some little aspects of it that aren't quite clicking at this moment in time, but that will come over a period of time. That's what always happens with us. We tend to start a little bit slower and pick up as we go along, but I think also it's important because it feels like things have moved and things have shifted in terms of expectation. We've got to stay the same. We've got to stay the same and not demand too much too soon, whilst we know that the trajectory has been really good and still looks like it can be that way. You know, in terms of performances, the stats are pretty good in most senses. You just got to remain calm and focused and positive, and that's what I was talking about in the post-match after Norwich.
Has there been a sort of lack of spark at times, do you think?
I think sometimes there's just a lack of something, and I think that once that gets cracked, and again I can't lay it out for you because I don't want to do people's jobs for them, but you know, in terms of them looking at us and working out what we're trying to do or what we want to try and do, we've got to do what we're asking them to do to create that space, whether you're stretching defences to create space for others, whether they're playing a high line and you can put the ball in behind for the runs. We've got pace, we've got guile, we've got people that can score goals. They've just got to believe that, and again, with human beings, they're all, and young men, you know, they're all finding the feet, and they'll go through ups and downs and, you know, doubts, and you just got to keep level-headed and just keep doing the things that make you and got you to this stage in the first place and got you in a position where you were brought to this football club. So, and also in a position where you can be comfortable in your surroundings, knowing that, you know, we want to get into that top six when we can do this season. It's a long season. You know, we've seen that before, and I'm comfortable with the players that we have, and I think they're a brilliant set of lads. They're really ambitious, and you know that ambition has to be guided in the right way to get the right results for us to move up the table.
Watford started well, though they lost the last game, but you've got a pretty good record in the last couple of years at Vicarage Road.
They're a good side, yeah. They have got a way of playing that is not unfamiliar to us, and you know, if they've got really good players there, they've always had really good players there, and they're being guided in the right way, in a really good way. I think they've got a lot of energy, they've got a lot of quality, they've got some athletic players there, which is what they've always done, but they're working hard. They've got a new coach with Tom Cleverley going in there, and obviously from I think it was the under-21s, but he's come into that and he's taken to it like a duck to water, looks comfortable in his surroundings, got a really nice way of playing, and they'll cause teams problems, there's no doubt about it, if you let them. So, you know, we have to, out of possession, we've got to work hard, but you know, we've faced similar challenges against teams this season so far already.
I mean, you look at the next sort of 4 or 5 fixtures, it does look quite a testing run. I mean, do you look at them as a block, or do you just...
Well, you look at the 5 after that, and they look challenging as well. But also, you've got to make it challenging for the opponents. You know, I think the 5 games coming up, certainly, well, this week. You know, this week with Watford, with Tottenham on Wednesday, and then quickly after that with Swansea. There's a tough run of games before the next international break, which will be here really quickly. So, you know, we want to try and get some good performances in and score some goals and create some really good moments in the games, but more importantly, picking points up.
So, Ephron, how are you finding it here so far?
Yeah, I'm loving it. Every moment, every day is like learning something new. So, yeah, it's very competitive, and yeah, can't lie, I'm enjoying every moment of it.
Does the fact you had to wait a bit, has that sort of added to your enjoyment now?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think everything in its due time, really. So I'm happy it worked out this way, and you know, just trying to keep my head down and just keep working.
And Championship football, how's that comparing to?
Yeah, it compares a lot compared to like the previous league I was in. Probably like the pace is a bit different, but I think with the group that I've got next to me, it's helped me a lot to kind of adjust to it as quick as possible, really. But still, obviously, still getting used to it. It's still early in the season, so.
And being at a new club as well, does that take time?
Yeah, it does. But like I said before, the group that we've got around has made it really easy to adjust with, you know, the other new players as well that we've got in as well. So it's been a good start.
And your role when you play sort of in that sort of attacking three, do you enjoy that?
Yeah, of course. I think obviously that's where I see as my biggest threat to opponents, really. And yeah, across whichever side, I just want to, you know, just help the team as much as possible.
I was going to say, you've done left and right. Do you have a preference?
No, I don't. No.
And combining with the fullbacks as well, I mean, when you're on the right, you've got Milan there, is that?
Yeah, so I think that building different relationships on the pitch is something that we work on a training pitch every day. So being able to just have the relationships with, you know, Bidders or Jay and yeah, like you said, Milan is something that every attacking player kind of needs, that support from behind.
And obviously the last game against Norwich was disappointing. What was the feeling among the players about?
Everybody, you know, was frustrated, but I think that kind of shows the character of the team and how, you know, that disappointment is kind of not fueled anger, but like kind of fueled everybody to just be competitive, and we've seen that throughout the whole week of training, this week especially, and yeah, we're just like eager for the next test, really.
And I guess there's pressure for you guys in those positions to create chances. It's obviously something that.
Yeah, I feel like the pressure is something that, I don't know, I can't speak for my other teammates, but something that we kind of fuel off and, you know, want every single week, really, that type of pressure.
Because I'm sure you've heard when you arrive, the expectation, people talking about promotion and even top two. Is that a burden at all?
Not at all. Wouldn't call it a burden. I'd just say it's a goal for us. As you can see, like the squad that we've got together is, you know, really competitive and really strong, and we've seen through like previous seasons how tough and how long the championship season can be.
And you look at the fixtures coming up, and they're quite testing fixtures for you there. Does that daunt you, or does that excite you?
No, it's nothing to be like. There's no daunting behind it. It's just I think we're just all excited for the up and coming fixtures.
Because Watford obviously going pretty well, but that's not a good challenge for you again.
Yeah, of course. I think any test really, no matter the opponent, we've got our own kind of goals and targets, and I feel like no matter what team we play, we're going to be, you know, fighting and be really competitive.
And you getting used to the away support again? 2,100 are going to be there at Watford.
Yeah, I think we've seen it throughout even pre-season, how you know, important our away supporters are and how good they've been, like no matter the result really. But I think that's something that is making the players, you know, want to just give it their all when it comes to that first whistle.